Hello and welcome to DC30 and the Mythic Odysseys of Theros, D&D with an ancient Greek twist. We're a little light tonight as our resident centaur and Leonin have previous engagements, but tonight we have the lovely Eslin, the lovely Calliope, and the lovely Ganassi. When last we left off, this newly formed band of adventurers, Tempest, had recently decided to give themselves the name Tempest, and in order to gain more notoriety, set out to do some more goodwill. They managed to track down a little girl's lost cat with some surprising results, but in the process established a potentially new relationship between the town of Meletis, or the city of Meletis, and its surrounding wilderness. And that is essentially where we come to today. You guys checked in after celebrating your evening, and you come to having enjoyed a long night's rest. So, Tempest, what would you like to do?
Well, I believe we checked out what jobs were left, but none of them were still in the city. Maybe we could go back and check on that board to see if there's anything else there, a bit more local, before we head on our way.
There was one other thing, which was the Meletis, the Daughters of Meletis, that had a monster slaying membership, which you may have wanted to go to as well, or not.
Yes, the hunting job, I believe. We could certainly go and check that out. Do you have where to go on your list, Ganassi, in your notes?
The Lodge of Melia, and I believe it is, and I give some directions.
Okay.
Was the hunting job not in Unlow City?
The one for the returned was a sort of like a general bounty outside of Meletis. So we'd have to travel at least a few days out of our way.
Asphodel and Adumos were the two towns.
We obviously have the map. Do we know how long it would take to get to either of those locations? Because they are a fair distance away.
Asphodel or Odunos, let me have a look so I can give you a specific number. World of Theros. Oop, wrong button. Oh no, here we go. The World of Theros. So it would roughly be, assuming you guys can travel 25 miles in one day, that's on foot, correct? That's what the ruling is for that?
I believe so. Yeah, we don't have any additional speed boosts or
Assuming
anything
25
similar.
miles a day travel speed on foot, that would take 2 days either one. Meletis is kind of in the bang-up center of the world, of the known world, so everything's pretty equidistant.
I don't think it would harm us to see what the other job is before we make our way outside of town. Just in case this one's a bit more easy or...
I would also be curious to know if we have already acquired enough renown to do what we wished initially.
I did not hear a word of that.
I would also like to know if we have acquired enough renown to do what we intended to do in the first place.
He said through casting Warding Wind.
Okay, so let's go investigate, and then we'll go back. We'll see what the Daughters of Nelia have to say, and then we can go back to the secret sundries. Was it? I'm gonna open the map and read. But can we go see the Daughters of Nelia, please?
Yeah, absolutely. So the daughters of Nelia are located. So what do you mean? So the Temple of Nelia is not actually in the Temple District, unfortunately. That is located. It's a small building, all by its lonesome, pretty much. Kind of to the north of your location, if you consult the Theros map. And you'll see, sort of traveling north from the pin for the soon-sex public bathhouse, it's a building way off by itself, close to the wilderness.
Okay.
So, yeah, that will take you about, 30 minutes walk.
Okay, yeah, sure.
Yeah, so bright-eyed and bushy-tailed, you head out towards, yeah, it doesn't take you too long. You navigate through the streets. It's pretty early at this point in time. People are sort of still, getting out their bushels on their market stalls for the day, setting up shop, running errands as they prepare to open up the city for the world today.
As we're walking through, I'd like to determine whether or not people are paying any attention to us as we're walking.
Make a perception check.
Could you do that for me?
Yeah, sure. Ah, shit, I don't have my dice with me.
I've got some. Do you want me to
Can
roll
I
one?
make a separate one?
Yes, both of you make separate
I
perception
can't-
checks, and in a second I'll
I
have
can't
you
open the
dice
sheet.
bag. That's an oversight on mine.
Thank you. As soon as I'm back, I'll be able to do it as usual.
Oh,
that's a
17
modified 20.
plus 4, so 21.
Alright, so between a 20 and a 21, both of you notice that some people are taking notice of you guys. Specifically, they're taking notice of Ganassi. And with that higher roll, I'll say you notice that the demographic that seems to be taking notice of Ganassi are generally older folks. And they tend to be scowling at him.
Okay, so nothing more than the usual. Never mind.
Yeah.
Yeah, so no one knows this is Tempest just yet.
Yeah, that was fine. So people. All right, no worries.
Cool. 2 seconds while I just go fetch my dice so I'm prepared. I do apologize.
So I'm gonna be rolling my pink dice today because they rolled pretty good for fucking change.
I feel like you're literally the Joss Whedon of the group. In that guest episode. I swear he was rolling a coin. You either one or two.
Like I either roll natural 20s or natural 1s. There is no in between. There is no middle ground.
Team min-max. That's what we were always called.
And I always roll like really good and stuff I'm not interested in. Like, never mind, eh? Never mind. Right, okay. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I'm missing a dice. Sorry, I have a lot of dice and only one dice tray, which they all live in. So, Teddy, how's your weekend been?
Okay. I was pretty much. Oh, I wasn't working this time. For once.
You look cute as fuck in your little hoodie.
Oh, don't. I just woke up. Oh, Jesus. Just woke up from a morning shift. That was fun.
I gotta stop leaving shit lying around. I can never find it again.
Relatable.
So, 1 second. Whilst I edit the layout now that we have visual on the lovely Teddy. Oh, wrong button. If any of you watching hate the fact that I have to do this, feel free to support the stream so I can hire a mixer.
And how does one support the stream? That is the question.
Well, if there is enough interest in monetary support of the stream, I will open up a Patreon. And then you'll get all sorts of goodies like emojis of Teddy's wonderful expressions.
Oh god,
Go on,
no,
Teddy, it's for the
don't.
good of
That's
the
not a
stream.
selling point.
Oh, to be fair, I fucking want those, like, to use.
So yes, you arrive to it and you see sort of up this slightly winding path closer towards the cliff, a log cabin that seems to be these two arched tree trunks that are lashed together in this V-type motion, upside down V motion. Another just like it at the other end of the shack. No, not shack, so it's a big lodge. And then thatching all throughout. This looks like it was built by incredibly skilled but nonetheless hunter-gatherers. Out the side is a beautiful wooden statue of a lynx head, sort of coming out of the front of the lodge, just above the great big iron doorway.
Okay, is there any place to knock, or is there, like, people outside, or...
There's an iron doorway at the front, sort of like a grating style doorway over the wood. It's sort of like a big type doorway.
Okay, I'll, I guess, go up and knock on it.
Pang, pang, pang.
Good morning!
The door sort of swings, and a young girl of blonde hair that's in these sort of looped-in braids. She has a very sparsely dressed, not in like a sensual way, but in a practical way. Her breasts are in a bind, leaving her midriff exposed. She's got scars on toned arms, and a sort of basic practical hunting skirt on. Can I help you?
Oh, well, I don't know if you can help us. There was a post on the board, for a job.
Oh, yes. The, we're always looking to welcome people in the embrace of the Hunt's Mother. Please come in. You know, the door was open.
Oh, sorry. I don't usually just like walking in places
No, it's fair
where...
enough. All are welcome in the Lynx Mother's embrace. And she swings the door open wide and she gestures you all to come in.
I guess we go in.
Cool. You step inside and you're greeted by this. I don't know if you're out of character. You guys ever been inside a Native American teepee, but sort of there's a campfire at the center. There's leather tanning stations, groves of garden plants and things like that in pots that have sort of made this place feel homely. It's very homely, very hunter-gathery still on the inside as well. They see, and you notice that all the, for lack of a better term, acolytes are women. And they're all busy sort of either sharpening spears or readying weapons or tanning out pelts and in the process of leading this hunter-gatherer lifestyle. And they're all dressed in the same very practical leather garb.
So is there a specific job, or are we just looking to recruit people?
We welcome recruits. There is a initiation task that must be asked of new recruits.
And this is a religion as well as a
not, of
Great.
course, anyone. We were happy to answer any questions anyone might have about the worship of Nila, but this is not about pushing any ideology specifically. We exist as a means to foster unity between the polis. A branch just like this one exists in Akros, and the original branch in Setessa, the home of Nelia. We find that the people of Theros are united in the vanquishing of monsters, and this is a means for which people of able body can earn honorable trade, as well as foster unity amongst hunting parties that maybe not all come from the same city. An understanding through a
Patrons
common
worshipping of the
cause.
gods are welcome.
Of course, of course.
Making sure we don't want to cause any trouble or any disrespect.
No trouble at all. We only ask that you stave your blade from the beasts that inhabit the natural wild. At least while on our
Understandable.
lands. Come, you should speak with the Den Mother. And she leads you up this. So this lodge has a section down below, which is mishmash, where there's, like bed rolls and things like that, where these acolytes all sleep together in this enormous communal area. But one set of stairs that leads to this one section. So it's not like there has a second floor per se, but there's like this boxed off section in one corner of the ceiling, which you can tell is a separate room. So there's a second floor that's part of the top, not all of it, if that makes sense. And she leads you up those stairways. She moves aside this fur drape that lines the doorway, and inside you see a woman of about 28-ish, sort of late 20s. Auburn hair in a series of dozens of braids that go down her back that she's kept together with this sort of headdress of branches and antler bits and bone. A similar, very practical binding that leaves her midriff exposed and her top down here. Incredibly physically fit, muscular arms covered in scars. In the corner, you see an enormous club just hanging off of her chair. Basic, or slightly more ornamental, hunting skirt that's lined with furs, and her outfit is reminiscent of the other acolytes, but hers seems clearly, laced with green and bits of metal, is much more elaborate, in the sense that you get the sense this is someone of authority within this. I've got a picture, actually.
Oh, cool.
See, that's a hat.
There's layers to that you don't yet realize, which is hilarious.
This is gonna be like Phoebe's mum or something.
Boy.
No. The woman looks up. Hiya.
Hello.
Daphne here tells me you are looking for some honest work.
We are
That
indeed.
is a
What do you
offense.
have to offer?
Oh, you seem like a motley bunch, but I reckon I can whip you guys into something worthy of the title Daughters of Nilea.
I get that a lot. Daphne, is it? She mentioned
Daphne is the one you
there's
spoke to at the door. I am Cleo, Den Mother of the Meletian branch of the Daughters of Nilea.
Yeah, sorry, I misspoke. I do believe it was Daphne that said there was an initiation. The Daughters of Nelia.
Oh yeah, so
Can you give us a bit more information on what that entitles?
So, most of the time, people who sign up get to pick their jobs. We post out jobs that are available, people who are members can pick what they want, and they're expected to complete the job within the allotted time frame. But, as an initiation, we will pick a job for you that we believe to be an appropriate challenge, and upon completion of it, and you will be compensated for the job as if it were a normal job, and as well demonstrate your capabilities enough to be considered fully fledged members of the Daughters of Nelia.
Okay, that sounds great. Well, judging on what you can see from our group, what jobs would you pick for us, or what job?
She eyes you down, Calliope. You seem a bit precious. How are you in the wilderness?
I can get by.
So what I like to hear.
We're not here to.
That's what I like to hear, and she nudges your shoulder with her fist in a playful way. You stagger slightly, and you get the sense she doesn't realize exactly how physically strong she is.
Oh. Oh. Well, I guess I'm not as physically strong as I thought. Okay, how much from that?
Don't beat yourself up about it. I was wrestling wolves when you were still soiling your drawers.
Okay. Right.
And she looked down
Step
at you,
back
Eslin.
and lick my wounds.
You. Miss, saint-like, for lack of a better term. Are you good at getting down and dirty and fucking shut up?
Yes.
Make a deception check.
What? I am!
I'm kidding. Alright, I'll give you guys a shot. Especially because, tall, dark, and brooding in the back, both of them actually seem capable enough of swinging a sword as well. So yeah, between the 5 of you, yeah, I think we can work something out. Give me a minute. And she sort of consults through this ledger of different contracts that have come through. Okay, we got a commission for the hunting of one Catacthon Thunderboar.
What is that?
Yeah, no, none of you would ever. It's like a boar, but much bigger, and it spits lightning.
What's a boar?
You know what a boar is, Eslin.
Does she? It's a good question.
Make a nature check.
Have we not seen
19 plus 2. Like, did she turn? Oh, yeah, she did turn into a pig. You are correct. I am correct.
Yeah, you know enough what a boar is. In the same way that someone from the land surface might know what an anglerfish is. You probably might have heard it described by a human once before. Sorry, what was the question, Calliope?
I just said that we've already seen Phoebe turn into a boar.
Yes, you did. So, think you can take it on?
I can try.
Calliope, can I just talk to you for just 1 second? Calliope. So, I don't know how Thasso would particularly feel about me going around doing stuff in the name of another goddess. She would probably be very pissed off, and yeah, I think I could do the job, but if if we're known as the Daughters of Nelia, then I can't take part really. So, I don't know if this job is specifically for me.
Okay.
And I don't want to sign up to something and then be like, people think that I'm not good at doing it, or like that I'm a coward. I just don't want to be like, I don't want to piss off us.
Will this be the case for any task?
Like, okay, so my logic is that if it is a issue about general good, as in like this village needs saving, and there is a church for us there, then that's fine. But doing something in the name of another deity, Daughters Amelia, might not go down so well with her.
Ganassi definitely looks like he doesn't quite understand, but he shrugs and nods and says, if that's the case, then maybe that's an option for it.
I mean, if it was for anything else, I'd happily go and kill a boar. But
I look to the rest of the group.
The rest of the group.
So,
Yes, assuming that we still have that we've gone as a group,
let's
or
do
is it
that
just the
with
three?
you. So you mentioned this as well.
Yeah.
Jason will say, perhaps we can ask for clarification, as in how much this is directly in Nilia's name.
I mean, it is literally the daughters of Nilia. But I guess. I just don't want to wake up one day and not have any powers, and then obviously try to go home and, like, save my family and not be able to. Because, yeah.
A member of my old herd was known as Theros Silvertongue. His tongue was not actually made of silver. It is possible for something to be called something without it being it.
Okay, I guess.
Perhaps it would do to clarify with this den mother.
And we're just having like a little powwow, like right in front of her.
Yeah, I'm trying to decide whether she can hear all this or not.
oh, super sneaky. So.
Make a stealth check.
Oh no.
Better you than me, I'd have to do it with disadvantage.
Stealth. +4, 19?
Yeah, okay, fine. She probably hasn't heard.
Esmond, do you believe Cleo said that if we do go on this mission, we'll get paid as any other job? The only difference is, obviously, if we do complete it within the given time frame, we'll be given entry to the Daughters of Nelia. We can politely thank them for it, but refuse. That's not going to ruffle any feathers.
I'm not sure. Like, to be fair, out of character, DM, would Eslin know exactly counts as, because it is literally written in Fassa's description, you can't do a job for another god. Like, she would not be happy. Like, would Eslin know what counts and what doesn't count, or would she literally just be sat there having a panic attack?
Let me consult the guide for a moment. Just so I can remember what exactly that means.
Because I don't want to be that player, but Eslin would be that person.
It's also entirely reasonable that we might not always
Yeah,
be able
like,
to interact
I
with every
don't.
facet of Theros.
Yeah, I don't want to like rack up and then be like, can't do it. God says no to everything.
So, roll a religion check.
Okay. Not awful. 14 plus 2, 16 total.
Okay, you could reasonably come to the conclusion that the doctrines you've learned is that Thassa doesn't tolerate bowing or kowtowing to the demands of another god.
Okay, cool.
A common voluntarily carrying out a task if it happens to align with the interests of yourself is not necessarily something that she could frown upon. Thassa understands that the world is a big place and that there are other people who inhabit it, and that sometimes interests will happen to align, and so there's no harm in aiding another god if they're one to be trusted. And Thassa, you would know, has some amount of respect for Nelia, and sort of they have similar domains in terms of protecting the natural order.
Yeah,
and
okay.
the natural chaos of the world.
Alrighty.
Cleo will come up and say, I can sense there's some reservations on the piety side of thing, but just to clarify, we're a monster hunting guild first and foremost. Now, it is organized by the acolytes of the hunting goddess, because she is the master of all hunts. All hunts are granted by her, which is why we do not permit the hunting of beasts. But we have members from all ilks of life, all faiths, who come to us because they simply wish to slay monsters. Slaying of the negatives of the world is something that unites us all. That's the purpose of the Daughters of Nelia.
Okay.
You know, the one thing we can all agree on, kind of thing. That was what we set out to do. What was what they set out to do? Sorry, when they made this organization originally.
No. That's completely fine. It's just, I've not been on the surface long, and I just, things get a little bit more shades of grey up here than down there. Like,
Oh, I totally understand that. Why do you think I first came to Nelia? There are no shades of grey with the Lady of the Hunt. There is just the hunt.
simplicity is good. I'll give you that. So yes, the pig. Where did we find the pig? Kill the pig. Come back.
Well, as the name suggests, they inhabit the Catachan Mountains. This is
How far away are the mountains?
She pulls up a map very slowly by tabbing to a different section of her D&D Beyond account.
Relatable.
Couple days journey if you're quick about it.
Okay, we do have a few other interests that we may pursue in the meantime. Is there a specific way to track this animal?
They're big, they're loud, and they stink. And you'll smell, this weird burnt smell. It'll remind you of burning, but it's not quite the same. Some of the thaumaturges call it burnt ozone. I don't know what the fuck
Okay.
ozone is, but you'll know it when you smell it.
Okay. Thank you.
Look for big burrows. They like to make their dens in the sides of the cliffs.
Can do. Will do.
All right. She pulls out a piece of parchment. Here is your contract.
Before we go further, may I just ask, as we are now in the details of contracts signing, what are the penalties or repercussions of being unable to fulfill this contract?
You don't get paid.
And how many
That's-
tasks will we be expected to pick up in order to keep our membership?
How many what?
How many tasks will we expected to, like, how many jobs will we have to keep doing? Like, is it one a year, one a month, one a week?
You know, I don't know that, actually. Daphne! And she just calls Daphne over. Yes, but then, Mother? Is there a minimum of jobs? Daphne, sort of. I believe it is one a year. Ah, there's your answer.
Okay. I don't have any other questions. I don't think. Ganassi, feel better at contracts.
Yes. Well, verbal contracts perhaps, but this one I would be interested to know the rate of pay.
If you can
Very
bring
important.
back an intact pelt, a fully butchered boar, and I'm talking about your best case scenario here. Intact pelt, fully butchered boar, both tusks. You know what? If you can get all of its bits, that's 2,000 golden drachmi reward upon return.
Understandable, but if, for example, certain parts are not intact, for example, the pelt, if the pelt is damaged, what happens to the effect of pay? Is it completely rendered?
Not completely
These
rendered.
are
There's
details that we would like to have confirmed first.
You'll be paid based on how much you can successfully bring back intact, undamaged. The maximum will be 2,000 golden drachmi. I can't tell you the rate at which it will go down because it will depend on how much it goes down. You know, couple holes in the pelt, no problem. Big tear in the pelt one place, probably still good parts of it that are salvageable, so you'll still get paid for some of it. We'd have to examine the bits when you bring them back, and we'll pay you accordingly.
Is there
Yes,
anyone
I
that
can
would like
tell
to
that
come
you
with
work.
us who can skin?
One at a
So
time?
I don't know how. Sorry, you go, Ganassi.
Oh no, I was just saying I could tell that the GM works in mobile phone repair.
We'll have to evaluate the cosmetic condition of the Yeah.
But is there anybody that you could possibly send with us, or would like to come with us to do the skinning? Or is there any like hints or tricks you could give us? I've skinned a fleece mane lion before, and I did that pretty well, but that's not happened since. Oh no, I didn't. I got somebody else to do it. That's what happened.
I don't know if we have any
Well,
link
so,
sisters to
someone
spare
else.
at the moment.
What is the size of the
Signs?
size?
Oh, big enough to plow through a horse and cut it in half. I've seen it do it once that before. That was awesome.
That's one way to put it.
I thought you're not supposed to. Never mind. Just yeah.
I do think it is worth us consulting with each other as to how we would transport the goods.
We can provide you with some equipment that would help preserve the goods. Not to worry about that.
In that case, the only concern we need to worry about for our own side is acquiring a wagon, perhaps, or perhaps some other form of carting goods. But we can I believe that is for us to
I'm about
work
to
out.
say, yeah, you're getting ample. Oh yeah, that reminds
I
me.
have no further.
And she pulls out this small, well, about this big wooden box. And she slides it over to you guys. You'll be transporting everything in this. It's a very ornate oaken wooden box that has the two sides that of the box made of stone slab. It's about the size of a shoebox.
I think I want to cast Identify, but I think I know what this might be. Just go check to see if I can. It's ritually.
That is a very small
Nope,
box.
I have to do it by ritual.
She speaks out a command word and boom, the box expands to out to be like a proper trunk size, like a size of a bathtub box.
That's pretty cool, I guess. Can we keep it afterwards?
Do enough hunts.
It was worth a try.
I will pull out the. She will explain. Let me just pull out the. Oh crap! What is this called again? Ooh, I know where I can find out what it's called because I had put it in a different place. Oh, for the love of.
Is it Tardisius?
Odysseys trunk.
Oh, it's better than that.
The trunk of holding. Oh, is it Mad Eye Moody's thing from Goblet of Fire?
Oh, balls! I changed it. I do apologize for the delay. I should have been more prepared for this. Oh, this is gonna drive me fucking bananas.
Yes, Calliope, would you like to sing us a song?
Oh no, sorry. It's just an earworm. I've had it stuck in my head. Just...
Ah, there we go. Forgot what it had been called. Man, the search function on a Mac sucks. A, B, C, D, E. So this is an Everus box, or Ever Ice box. She'll explain.
Is this the thing that just basically is a really cold freezer that you can travel with?
Yes. Yes, that is exactly what it is.
Yeah.
She'll go like, you speak the command word and it will shrink down to size. Should be able to hold all your needs.
Is...
And it perpetually keeps things cold.
Down?
Sorry, say that again?
And the command word is?
She says it to you.
Ganassi, can you write that down?
I take out my book, flip past the drawing, and I write down the command word.
Yeah, I'm not going to hang up too much on what the exact command word is. We'll just say you know the command word.
I have no further questions unless anyone else does. I'm happy to agree to this.
So remember, it's only half as heavy once it's small. So, squat more frequently. And she looks at Ganassi.
I will have my ways of transporting it. Don't worry.
Do we just sign now?
She actually pulls out a small jar of what looks like red clay / red paint, and then she says, "Please place your palm, and then on the paint, and then place your palm on the die. Sorry, place your palm on the die, then place your palm on the paper. That is how we do contracts here."
Ganassi, you go first.
Ganassi will step forward. He's going to look over the paperwork and look to see if there's anything that seems amiss.
Reading through it, it sort of just iterates that this is a commission, so you will be expected to locate the creature of your own accord, as in there isn't a specific one that has been identified for you. It outlines a break day that you will be paid a maximum of 2,000 gold upon success of the hunt and return of all its parts. It stipulates that should you be in breach of any clauses regarding the return of the parts, as in if you keep any of the parts for yourself or anything like that, the reward is null and void. Failure to complete the hunt will result in a void of any payment and a 6-month moratorium on being allowed to enlist again.
Okay, so the key bit there is that
Keep it is what?
They got to him!
That was so suspenseful. Is that a word?
It is, yes.
Have like an out of body experience then, like what is English?
Darcy, are you okay?
Oh, thank you for your comment, Sheepodity. We appear to have lost Ganassi. Oh, never mind.
can you hear me now? Hello?
Yeah, we.
Could you hear me before?
No.
Nope.
Okay. So I take a moment to look over the contract, and I stop and my finger taps on the part of the contract that mentions failing to withholding any parts of the hunt. And I'll look back to the group and go, this may be important for us to know before we continue. We would not be able to keep any of the quarry or any parts of the quarry, even if we had a valid reason to do so. It is not a concern to me, but I feel it is important to note that now.
Oh,
Yep, fair enough.
yeah, I don't think I have any interest in parts of a pig. Like, I'm sure we'll be fine.
Okay. In which case, then the Ganassi places his hand on the die and gently presses it against the contract.
You notice that the die seems to harden for a moment around you, and as you pull your hand away, it just cleanly peels off as well, and it's sort of like this slightly clayish, waxish die that creates a sort of seal, not just a like handprint. It's a handprint that is sort of like solid, and so it's almost like a wax handprint, kind of.
Hold up.
I think it was cool. I'm pretty sure he said cool.
I'll step out of the way after I'm done.
Very well. Jason and Amalia will both leave their own respective hand and paw prints.
I take off my rings first.
Oh, Calliope leaves her handprint. Cleo looks at you, Eslin. Oh, your turn. I was like, you're up, Buttercup.
Yeah, sure. Sort of like, and signs it.
Cool. 5 handprints adorn this device, this contract, and the handprints sort of hum for a minute and glow slightly before settling down. And Cleo is like, the hunt has begun. Best of luck, cublings. Sorry, I don't know why I said that. Best of luck, cubs.
Okay, so 2 days ride, yeah? 2 days walk, even.
I don't suppose it is in either is in a direction of our other locations. Oh, actually, on this, we should probably leave before we discuss this. Thank you. And he bows his head to the head huntswoman. Suggest that we leave before we continue discussing.
She bows her head and says, walk with ferocity. And bids you guys adieu. Cool, yeah, you guys exit the lodge calmly, wave goodbye by the other acolytes of this Lodge of Nilea, and make your way back down towards the main hub of the city with your new Ever Ice box.
Ganassi's currently holding the box, but he'll look to everyone else and just check to see if everyone is happy with him holding it. Otherwise, someone else can grab it.
How heavy is it?
It doesn't feel.
By itself, it's just like an empty wooden box. It's also shrunk down.
Okay.
It's like an empty wooden wine crate type heavy.
Oh, so Ganassi can carry it.
Yeah, upon inspection of the card, you will learn that it can hold up to 10 gallons of liquid, 24 rations, or a small or smaller creature.
Cool.
Or the meat of, like, we'll say for the purposes of simplicity that it is big enough to hold everything you'll need to as part of the hunt.
In which case, as we're walking, we'll say, are either of those towns we were looking for in the direction of this? Because, in theory, we could do both in a relatively shortened journey. Just another thought.
I guess neither is a bad idea. Are they? Is one like in a similar direction?
I don't know,
Oh.
is it?
I don't like that. Cool. I get Ganassi. A wise Ganassi who takes notes.
Yeah, but I currently don't have
Would
notes.
know in theory, right? Please don't make me
I've
do
never
anything
been to this
logical.
land.
Neither have I. I live in the sea. Everyone looks at Calliope.
Just look around. Oh, did I miss anything?
How are you
Sorry,
with
I was
maps,
just-
Calliope?
Not the greatest. I'm not very orientated. Is that the word? I can try.
We have been tasked to hunt this creature, but we do not know which direction to go. We need a direction, and then we can see whether or not any other tasks are in that direction.
Hmm. I think I might have something that can.
You guys all have the map in front of you, right?
The
The one that's
interactive
pinned,
one.
I believe.
It is saved in my documents. The issue is that I don't remember names very well. Like, I can't do numbers, and I'm not very good at names. If you ask me to draw you something, however, that is in my skill set. Like,
Oh, is it?
So could
yeah.
you draw a map for us, please?
I could draw you a map. I cannot fucking read the thing though.
There's an irony.
Oh.
Theros draft.
Hello.
I've got it.
Never mind, I don't have the thing I thought I did.
I have the map. And I remember roughly where the other two places. So the one was Aphosidal and Odonos.
Aphosidal.
Hey.
Me.
Yeah.
Anemone. I'm not being mean. I find it endearing.
I'm just gonna talk in primordial all the fucking time from now on.
It was
Yeah.
Asphodel and Odonos.
That is correct.
Yeah. So where was the pig?
She said the
Did he
pig.
just say?
See, that kind of pig normally inhabits the Cataclysm Mountains.
Oh yeah. Oh, so no, it's not. It's not near anywhere that we want to go. But she did say it would only take 2 days to get there, which is pretty short considering how far away it is.
You'll notice the scale as well. There's a scale line as part of that map. The one of Theros isn't actually tremendously enormous. It's only
okay.
about 100 miles. Like, it is only about 100 miles north of the Cataclysm Mountains. You guys can see them from the city if you go to a high enough spot.
Okay. We could possibly buy some rations and then go to the mountains and then cut through the Nestine wood and then go to Asphodel. I don't think it's going to save us much time though.
Very well. I just thought it was worth us checking before we left.
So in theory, if we were to go to the mountains and then head down to how many days rations would we need?
To just get to the mountains is 3 days rations. So it is a 2-day ride by wagon to get to those kinds of mountains. So it'd be about 3s on foot. So it'd be about 3 days rations to get there. Jason explains, I'll say. 3 days rations to get there, 3 back, and you don't know how long you'll need while you're out there. How many you'll need.
So if we wanted to go straight down, okay. Alrighty. Yeah, probably just. I'd probably take 10 days rations each if I was all us, which I am. I'm going to take 10 days rations.
It is also worth mentioning that we have agreed as part of this contract not to hunt beasts that aren't part of this for the day. So yes, the ration, we need to make sure we have enough rations to go.
Fishing doesn't count though, surely.
I feel that may break the spirit of the agreement. Or rather,
there's an
if I was
allegory
the
to
one
be
to
drawn
protest,
there.
I would feel.
I was gonna. No.
How does everybody
No,
feel
before
about being
vegans, I
vegan?
think vicious.
They said all my blood's internal. That's where the blood is supposed to be.
Right, let's go get some rations and get out of this place. Maybe buy a horse. We don't have enough money for a horse. Let's get some
You
food.
bought a shiny new spear for someone who won't be attending this.
It's cool. If he can use his shiny new spear when he's back. And in a few levels' time, I will be able to make food, so you know, it's fine. Do we need to roleplay getting food, or can we just go get food?
You don't have to roleplay if you just want to get. So you just want to buy 10 days worth of rations
Yeah.
each. Cool.
Yep.
Yep, Ganassi will cover the cost.
Cool. Mark off the appropriate amount of gold. I'm assuming you have the cost of 10 days worth of rations on D&D Beyond.
Not physically. Oh, actually, probably I can.
I can find the rations. It's not a problem.
If you can find it, that'd be fab. Just because I have less.
Rations one day is half a gold piece. So
So that's
for
a
10
day
days,
of rations.
that's 5.
5 gold
Yeah,
pieces
so obviously,
each.
5
yeah.
each, 15 gold. Okay, cool, done.
25 gold. The Centaur and the Leonin.
Oh god, yeah, they only 2. Okay, fine. I guess they come with. Cool. Okay, done.
I mean, Jason says, if you believe you are strong enough to do this hunt on your own, I could ask for a separate hunt.
No. You said you're gonna protect me. I'm gonna need a lot of protecting because we're going up against a very big pig. I don't want to die again.
I will not let you die. That was Jason, not the DM.
I know.
The DM will let you die.
DM will.
I know that.
I think we're team going down. We're team squishy right now. I am the tank.
Oh my god. No offense, but if you're the tank, Nelia and all the gods help us.
Thassa is the correct god.
I shall choose to abstain from this conversation. Let us make haste.
Oh my god, Eslin's giving me an idea for a homebrew character background, the Mormon.
Yeah, you said this.
Oh, yeah.
You have to
I'm
say
still
everything, like, they
waiting.
don't speak.
We simp for Thassa, okay? She is a crabby queen.
I
Phrasing?
distribute our rations, by the way, so everyone can add the.
Oh yeah, 10 days ration. I think I've still got like 1 day left. But
The rations separately.
Yeah, you
Just so
guys, I think you
5
consumed
days.
most of them yesterday at a
10?
picnic.
yeah,
Wait, did we
everybody.
say 10 days? I thought we said 5 days.
10 days each.
10 days.
10 days each. Okay, let's see. Sweet.
They are in my inventory. Alrighty, wonderful.
Very well, so you guys immediately set
Should've
off on the
taken those
city, or
arrows.
is there anything else you'd like to do in the meantime? Just before you set off on your journey.
No.
I don't think there's anything else really to do from our standpoint. Actually, no. We'll quickly go down to the statue.
Well,
See,
Father.
I think I keep forgetting. Yeah, I keep forgetting the name of who it is because Ganassi doesn't care. He goes to the statue where you can get jobs, and we'll see if there's any new ones.
Okay, fair enough. You do not see any new ones at this time. You recall that you've breezed pretty quickly through the jobs over a course of, I think, 2 days tops total.
Yeah.
So,
I think so.
you imagine you might need it. You might need to
Cool.
give it a second for.
Then that was all it was really. So
Maybe we could pop into the sundry shop just to see how we're doing, just to see if they like me enough to tell me anything.
The what shop?
You can. I have had the impression that our name is not loud enough in this town just yet.
I don't
Perhaps
know if they
after 2
wanted
days,
fame. I
those.
think they wanted to know if we were good people. But it's just worth checking.
If you wish to, I feel we may not have made much of an impact just yet. But we can see, and perhaps when we return, maybe the tales of Thistlespine will have passed to more as well. But I'm happy to go while you can see if you are successful.
I'd like to, if that's okay.
Yeah.
Okay, you make your way down to Sorcerer's Sundries. You see the familiar shop wedged between two other larger shops, sort of this alleyway type shop. And you step inside, you're greeted with the familiar, powerful smell of herbs, spices, ingredients. And you see just wall-to-wall the botany and chemicals. And once again, Penelope is in the middle of using a mortar and pestle to grind what looks like beetles into a fine powder. Welcome back.
Hello. How are you?
I am quite well. How are you?
Well, still panicking, of course. Do you, are you willing to share anything with us as of yet? We've been doing a few things around town. Some noteworthy.
Word has not yet reached my ears, unfortunately. I do apologize. I can tell that what weighs on your soul weighs on it greatly. And I wish to be of aid, but understand that the Lady Farika is the goddess of secrets as well as remedies, of poisons. She is privy to information that could create great wonders, save many, but destroy in equal measure. The secrets I am privy to are delicate, to say it best. Even I may not know how to save your city. I do know someone who could, though, who might know it better.
Okay. We are journeying out of town for a few days, so hopefully word will come to you shortly.
Remember, the Lady of Secrets' most trusted servants are those who keep her greatest treasures. Now, is there anything else I can help you with?
Does anybody need a health potion while we're here?
Depending on the cost, it may be useful to have some in reserve. One of us were to have a nap.
How expensive are your healing potions? Or do you just sell poisons?
I do not just sell poisons, no. I am a follower of balance. I sell poisons and I sell healing. Stuff to give life and remedies to give life and melodies to take it away. A simple healing potion would run you 50 golden drachmi. Yeah, I'm using Matt Mercer's potion costs. I'm not gonna mess about with a homebrew for those costs.
50 standard anyway. Ganassi, how much do you have in group funds?
Enough. If you were to suggest how many you wish, I can say if we can afford it. I will only say if it is excessive.
I currently have 4 in stock. I can brew more, but that would take time.
We could afford all 4. It would run our amount quite low, but if we are successful, we would recoup quite a lot. But only if we were successful.
Well, I think maybe if we had one for Calliope and one for myself, then anybody else who gets injured, we can use our spells to, bring them back up again.
Yeah, so fill up the healers and we can leave.
Because unfortunately, Calliope and I have a habit of going down together. And not in like a party way, just like...
Seems that we will be going for
Teddy, your
2
face just
of-
froze in the perfect expression. It was like,
Oh no, it didn't freeze.
amazing.
Just like I'm about to argue. Oh, never mind.
Can we have 2 health potions, please? Thank you.
Why, certainly.
I will mark off price for that. Yeah, 100 gold. Yes.
Correct.
Correct.
Oh yeah. So I'll pay for it, but then split the 2 to whoever actually wants to have them in their inventory.
What was it? A simple healing potion.
It should just be potion of healing on D&D Beyond.
Yeah, the 2d4 one.
Yep. Okay. Thank you. Thank you for your time.
Be well. May fortune find you. I do hope you find what you're looking for. Remember what I said. And she bids you goodbye.
Shall we be off?
Yes, it is a long journey. We should start now. Actually, a point. Do we all have sufficient means to rest and bed for the night?
Oh, do we all have bedrolls? That is a good question. I'm pretty sure we do.
I do not.
I do.
I've got one.
If only someone had thought to loot all the camping equipment at the Balgura's base.
I mean...
I tried to.
No, you didn't. You said you were looking for,
Yes,
like,
I-
fancy shit.
Okay, yeah, fair enough.
I would rather get a new bedroll anyway.
Okay.
So I
Bedroll's
will,
not
yeah,
good enough.
probably. Actually, does this merchant sell those, or is it just the?
Penelope is a
Is it-
apothecary only.
Cool. Then we'll just look for a general store.
Okay. Make an investigation check.
Could you do that for me again?
Yes, I can.
Can I give him some guidance?
Sure. Natural 3.
He would need that guidance.
Alright, so that's a D4, right?
Yeah.
Oh, 4. So 7 plus...
It's better than a 3.
What's your modifier, Ganassi?
Stand by for investigation. It is skills investigation +4. So that's that's 11.
Okay. It takes you a little bit because you have a hard time finding people who are more receptive to you, Ganassi. A few people just sort of shun away immediately. A couple that tell you outright to fuck off. But eventually...
To which I say, I happily shall in the direction of the shopkeep. Could you
So-
tell me which way that is?
They eventually point you towards the general store, which is in the sort of more commercial district again. And there's nothing really fancy about this place. It just sort of says general goods on the outside.
I will happily meet the general.
Cool.
And yes, I will go inside and I will acquire. Actually, yeah, I'll go. Yes, I'll head in and see what they have.
All right. You step inside and you are greeted by just a sort of... It reminds you almost like a hospice shop. In terms of it's just knickknacks everywhere, different things, you know, like bedrolls stuffed in one area, torches in this big old barrel, camping equipment. It very much looks like a general store, very miscellaneous.
I will quickly have a quick rummage to see if there's anything Heserian.
Make an investigation check.
Oh, okay. I found my dice roll. Let me do the dice roll myself this time. And I got a natural 1. I should have got someone else to do it.
You find nothing Heserian.
No worries. I'll grab myself a bedroll and simple tent.
Cool. You are greeted at the sort of shopping booth by a Triton with teal-colored skin and blue sort of at the top that goes over his head. A beard made out of loose tentacles, kind of Davy Jones style, although this Triton's is a bit more uniform in terms of like 1, 2, 3, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. He's a very small dorsal fin that sort of only goes just behind his head here. And 2 other tentacles that sort of droop down the back of his head like sort of long stranding braids. Hello, how can I be of assistance today?
I ignore his appearance. I simply just need to get these items, please.
Certainly.
Small tent and the bedroll.
1 small tent and 2 bedrolls. Anything else?
Nothing this time.
Very well, very well. That will be whatever it says in D&D Beyond.
Okay, I will sort that out as soon as my taxi arrives.
So
I will sort that out.
A 2-person tent will run you 2 gold pieces, and a bedroll.
Oh, I'll also get a tent as well, please.
Okay, so 2 gold pieces for a tent and a 1 gold piece for a bedroll. Mark off the appropriate price for however many you decide to get, and he will happily sell them to you.
I will get. I'll buy the second tent as well.
No, I've got it. Don't worry about it. I've bought the tent. I've just took it out of my inventory, so it's cool. You keep your money.
I got Aura money.
I've got money.
And the Triton says, planning a big trip?
A hunting trip.
Camping.
Ooh, where are you going? If you don't mind asking, I'm just...
The mountains?
Oh. Do you have climbing equipment? I'm not necessarily... I mean, sure, okay, I'll admit it, I'm trying to make a sale, but at the same time, nobody likes falling a long distance.
I mean, no. How much is climbing equipment? I might have some climbing equipment.
Actually, I might have some as well.
And Lynn's just going to start rooting through her bag.
Like any woman just like rummaging through her bag.
Yeah, like her backpack.
Have it here.
Yeah, I do not have climbing equipment. Okay.
How much is climbing equipment? What is it called?
I think it's 25 gold pieces, if I'm not mistaken.
Bloody hell.
Climber's kit, adventuring gear, 25 gold pieces. Includes special pistons, boot tips, gloves, and a harness. You can use a climber's kit as an action to anchor yourself. When you do, you can't fall more than 25 feet from the point at which you are anchored. I don't know if we're actually planning to go up the mountain, though.
It was just a
Still, we do
suggestion.
not-
I apologize if I've raised an unnecessary question.
Well, could we possibly have a climber's rope? And just
I have lengths
obviously
of
out
rope.
of...
I'm happy to sell lengths of rope, of course.
Or maybe some of like the... I don't know what they're actually called, but the pegs that you like jam on the wall.
Pythons.
Pythons. Could we get some pythons and some rope separately?
Certainly. Now let me just have a look at rope that isn't magical. God, I wish I could just sources.
I've got some rope actually. I've got 50 feet of hemp.
What is
I
it?
think,
How much does it cost?
I think it's 1 gold.
Yeah, hempen feet. Yeah, 1 gold piece for 50 feet of hempen rope. Is
Yeah.
python part of it? Yeah, 5 copper pieces per python.
Okay. 1 gold, and how many pythons would we need? I don't know shit about climbing. Just can we say 4 for the sake? Yes, 5.
4 for just your centaur friend, right?
Oh,
Yes, he will require quite a bit, I would imagine.
how many would you recommend?
I'm not much of a climber, unfortunately. But
I
I
assume
know
we're
he's
not
going to need
using
more.
Jason as a counterweight.
Sorry, say that again, Ganassi?
I said, I'm assuming we're not using Jason as a counterweight.
Maybe Jason not climb, and if we need to do any climbing, we just sort of not leave him behind, but leave him nearby.
I can
Jason says,
assist
"Aw."
somewhat. I feel
I'm sorry.
actually, GM question.
Yeah?
I don't want the
The levitate, the Ganassi's levitate that he gets once per long rest. I've kind of been assuming that is just for myself only, but levitate technically could be cast on someone else,
I
correct?
assume if it is a racial, it would be specified within that racial if it could only be cast on oneself. Because I know some do that, so I will consult it.
Yes. Because if so, then that's one way to do it.
Ganassi traits. So Air Ganassi. You can cast Levitate spell once with this trait, requiring no material components, and you regain the ability to cast it. Constitution. It does not specify that you can only cast it on yourself, so then you can cast it on others.
Okay. In which case, I will look over to Jason and I'll say, "It's okay. I believe I have that matter dealt with."
Jason will say, "At some point, can we get me something that lets me, just walk up walls? I feel like otherwise this could become a recurring problem."
Ooh, can we also have a bell as well?
I do not recommend putting a bell on Jason.
No, that's not what I meant. I meant, when we're sleeping, maybe we could set up like a little trap with the rope and a few bells around.
I am capable of securing a location myself.
Oh, okay. Cool, I guess.
I can simulate the same result. I typically have it set so that I am awoken silently by the alarm, and then can choose to alert others silently if need be. Or I can simply have the sound of a bell ring.
I'm gonna get 10 pythons just for
Jason.
me, so if anybody else wants some, just let me know.
What's the damage on those?
They're like 5 copper pieces each.
Cassie? And please, thank you.
How much again?
5 copper pieces per python.
Okay, and how many are you getting?
10.
10,
For me as well.
so 5 silver, 10 silver.
Mhm.
I think that's right.
Also, I turn
So
to
1 gold piece.
Jason and I say, that makes 1 gold piece. And to Jason and say, give me some time to, as the kids call it, level up. And then I'll learn a new spell so I can transform you into something that can climb. Is that better?
I suppose that would be sufficient, thank you.
Welcome.
I hope I'm doing a good Jason. Sorry, Alex, if you can see this.
That's good.
I'm channeling Borders from the Orville, if anyone gets that reference.
Is there anything
I
else?
thought you were channeling an Elcor from Mass Effect.
I have never played Mass
Ooh,
Effect.
alcohol. Yeah, well, Mass Effect 20 to die.
Never played it, shame to say.
It's so fucking good.
Next campaign. That's everything that Ganassi needed, the Ganassi needed, so he's okay. I keep saying Ganassi, his name isn't Ganassi, but that's
His
everything
name
that
is
Ganassi needed.
Ganassi. Until he changes it, his name is Ganassi.
Say my name, say my name.
Ooh, there are ball bearings in adventurer's gear. Or a barrel.
Your bow is showing.
Alright.
I mean, ooh, what the fuck is blasting powder?
Something
Sorry,
that doesn't
I got really
exist.
excited.
Something that doesn't exist in Theros.
Okay, I was getting excited
Oh.
reading the adventuring gear.
Remember, this is based off the Bronze Age.
Ooh, can I get a blanket?
You can get a blanket.
Cool, I'm gonna buy a blanket. That is a silver piece.
Okay.
Only if you name the blanket something cute.
Blankie.
Cute.
Cool. I know it's 5 silver pieces. Cool. Done. Alrighty, let's roll.
All right. With all your camping equipment, you guys set out and take one of these sort of side roads to navigate out of the city. It's easy enough to make your way through. You follow the caravan of different carts that are some making their way to Akros, others to Setessa. You guys take your own road. So an ordinary travel pace on foot, you guys walk along. And unless you guys deliberately go off the beaten path, I'll say that you guys do see a fair amount of other different merchants and things like that, or travelers that go down this road. The journey between the polis is one that's taken quite frequently, so you guys are in populated country for the moment. As you guys take your specific path, though, more towards the Catachan Mountains, slowly, eventually, there's fewer and fewer people until you guys are the only ones on your road. This is over the course of about 6 hours. At this point in the evening, at the end of the day, I would say it's about 2 p.m. ish. Sort of, that's where the point in the sun is. Can I get someone to make me a perception check?
Cool. Please, can I volunteer?
Sure.
I have great passive perception if it is ever relevant.
I also am very perceptive.
Yeah, just because I've gone for the observant feat. So
What's your passive perception, Ganassi?
Let me find it. Passive perception is 20.
Okay.
What?
Mine's 14. Mine's not as good, but I do have a +6 to perception.
Is a dedicated observant feat. I can also, I've gone for, because I know that I'll forget to make rolls. So I've gone for the passive.
You're assuming I'll
question.
remember.
If I have,
yeah.
sorry, if I have expertise on perception, I add my proficiency. Yeah.
Twice over, so you had double your proficiency bonus.
And yes, I will do my best to remember to remind you that instead.
Thank you.
When it comes up.
What?
28.
Bards. So you rolled a natural 19.
18.
Oh, wow. Okay, so 18 plus 10?
Yeah, because I have 6 and proficiency bonus is +2. If that's double, that's 10. So
No, I think the 6 is you're looking at D&D Beyond, right?
Yeah.
The 6 is your everything. That's all pre-calculated.
Yeah.
How?
Because your proficiency bonus is 2 in general. Double that is 4. I am assuming your wisdom is +2.
I love how you went when you said that the result is only 24.
Half elves, man.
24 now. Excuse you.
It's still a good
what
score.
am I? The other thing.
Half nymph, yeah.
Same thing. It's 24.
24. Yeah, easy enough. You guys are in farmland at the moment, sort of rolling wheat fields in this particular section. You haven't quite. It's sort of still just outside the city, almost, relatively speaking. You see a stone statue, sort of about 100 feet down that way. Calliope.
Yep. Do I recognize the statue?
Make a perception check.
13, 19.
Doesn't look like anyone in particular that you recognize. It appears to be of a woman with, a nude woman with long flowing hair down her back, and she's got leaves sort of coming off her, and is holding a cornucopia, like a bread basket type thing. You see an altar sort of at the base of her statue in the sort of round stone plinth that has little leavings on it.
Okay. If I send this out to the group, do any of them recognize?
Anybody who wants to can make a history check.
I'm going to assume that the Ganassi doesn't have a clue because it's not local.
You could have a much higher DC, but you can try.
I'll give it a go then. History, you said?
Yes.
That's a 7 from me.
12 from me.
You guys, doesn't ring a bell?
Should we just carry on? Do you want to stop, Calliope?
Yeah, sure. Periodically, can I just... I'm keeping an eye on the surroundings and if anything, like, catches my eye. Is that okay?
Yeah, of course. No problemo. So you approach the statue, easy enough, sort of taking care not to trample the crop through the fields. Yeah, this crop in particular is sort of just fields of golden wheat. You get closer and you notice actually it's ancient. It's worn away by centuries of exposure to the element, but unmistakably is of a woman with a peaceful expression that appears to be almost basking in the sunlight and is holding a basket full of food. And all the food has been very intricately chiseled. All the crops are very intricately sculpted. A lot of them have sort of worn away to a more general shape, but the idea behind the statue is unmistakable. Sorry, 1 second, stupid.
Does it look religious? Or
in a pagan sense, it does. It doesn't look... She's not in any sort of kind of pose that indicates, it's like piety or like, statues you would see around the Vatican. It's more sort of a... if it has religious significance, it would be more sort of Bronze Age, for lack of a better term, than... you see as well, as you've gotten closer, sort of till you're right under it, a small stone tray is at its feet, and you see it's filled with bottles of mead, wreaths of wildflowers, baskets of dates, and placed atop the stack of offerings is a glistening bundle of 10 arrows that are wrapped in a golden cord.
I really want those arrows, but I think it's a very bad idea. If you see any lying on the ground, just let me know, guys.
you want them?
Oh, no. I'm not risking that. Absolutely not.
Does anything look special about the arrows? Like, or are they just normal arrows?
Make a perception check.
Oh, no.
Want me to make one?
Oh, yes. Okay, 17 plus 6. So 23?
As far as you can tell, they're ordinary arrows.
Oh, okay.
They're beautifully made. Don't get me wrong. They're beautifully made with polished iron tips, but to your eye, they look pretty normal.
Well, we got you some arrows just recently, so, if there's nothing special about them. I will find...
We have arrows at home.
We do have arrows at home. The arrows at home.
Are the arrows that you looted from the bandits of the Balguras? They're probably a bit
No,
crooked.
she bought some not long ago the other day.
Oh, yeah.
Frozen.
Oh, yeah, the rust arrows.
Arrows. You didn't get the rust arrows, but you did get a normal set of arrows, didn't you?
No.
I thought you got like 20 normal ones. Do you know that?
I didn't get any.
Okay, then you have literally just got like those broken ass ones.
It's fine. Oh, I'll make do. So good. Shall we proceed?
Yeah, let's go see what this ball's about.
All right, you guys back away from the statue and travel forth. It is getting a little bit colder as you guys travel further north. You're getting to the point where you've left over the course of another 6 hours or so, you've left the rolling farmlands behind you guys. The sun is very quickly starting to set, but as you crest a hill, you can see them come into view, sort of take shape in the skyline, the Catachan Mountains. Beautiful. I don't know if anyone's ever seen the Alps before. I'm sure you have, but sort of that kind of just white tips and rocky crags under below, forests dotted here and there. Beautiful mountain range site. You guys are surrounded by sort of pretty much not grassland per se. There's pockets of forest here and there. It's sort of just general wilderness. What would you like to do? The sun is setting quite quickly.
Esley's going to put her little blanket over her shoulders.
We should consider to make camp at some point.
Yeah, I think it's better for us to do it here than.
Yeah, as we get further in, it's going to get colder. Can we have a look around and maybe see if there's somewhere that's a bit more sheltered than the rest of the places?
All right.
Although maybe not a cave.
Make a survival check.
Ooh, okay. I think I'm okay at these. Oh, okay. That's a 12. Survival, yeah?
Yeah.
12 plus 4, 16.
Traveling to where you are quite close to the Nessian Wood. You can actually see it in terms of in the distance, and it's there are break-off sections of forest throughout it. Approaching one of these is not too hard. It takes you about maybe 30 more minutes. And you find yourselves able to between these 3 or 4 or 5 large oaks, there's this little miniature patch where a tree hasn't grown. It's spacious, seems spacious enough for a couple of tents. And the big trees overhead, so you imagine that would aid in the weather.
Maybe we should sleep in the tree. Is that a bizarre thing to do?
Jason looks at you like, I feel like you're personally attacking me right now.
Oh, I'm sorry, Jason. I just thought, the ground could be dangerous, and if we were in the tree, the things that could get to us probably.
If you are able to make an accessibility ramp for the tree, I will happily do so, but unfortunately, without one, I fear the
See, if we had an Ent with us, this would have been a lot easier. We could always have a place to rest. We could rest in the Ent.
Do I detect a tone of passive aggression?
No.
No.
Alex messaged me and he was like, he keeps sending me these memes and it's like me with my 1,000 NPC children and stuff like that, and it's just like but yeah, cool. No aggression. Just like I want an Ent as a friend. Yeah, let's just go to bed.
All right, you guys pitch up your tents. Easy enough. Jason, so you guys have 4 tents, right? 2 tents, sorry.
Yeah.
So, 4 of you are going to have to share with one other person. Jason agrees to sleep under the stars in his more natural state.
I will lend him my blanket.
Thank you. This is very appreciated. So, who's entailing it with who?
I'll sleep outside.
Calliope, there's plenty of room in the tent.
Oh, okay, fine.
While we're deciding this, can I just quickly double check? The spell Alarm doesn't look like each spell interferes with each other. can I just confirm that I could theoretically ritually cast alarm several times and each one would stay alive?
I guess so. It doesn't say that. So it doesn't explicitly state that you can only cast this a certain number of times or anything like that.
Nope.
Okay then.
It's got a casting time of 1 minute, but obviously there's the ritual element of that as well. So it's going to take 11 minutes per cast. So I'll probably end up spending 55 minutes, so nearly an hour doing so.
Okay.
But it allows me to set 5 20-foot cubes. So I will ritually cast alarm.
What's the threshold on alarm? Because if you guys are awoken every time a squirrel walks across the forest
the alarm alerts you whenever a tiny or larger creature enters the warded area. When I set the casting spell, I can designate creatures that won't set off the alarm.
Okay, so you're gonna have to list every kind of native fauna to this.
Okay.
So no squirrels, no rats, no mice.
Well, I'm going to say.
So
would it be possible?
When you say kind of creature, you can go. So you can.
Well,
I've
got an easy solution to this.
Yeah.
I've got a fairly easy solution to this. I'm going to say creatures that are small or larger, rather than tiny.
Okay.
That should offset most of nefarious creatures.
Okay.
I think it's probably the best way.
This is when we get attacked by pixies, yeah.
I mean, yeah.
No.
Actually,
No.
small, or small. Yes, small or larger, or I suppose I can designate it by type because I could just say beasts don't set it off. Because if I say that beasts don't set it off, then most naturally occurring things won't be an issue, and if it isn't a beast, then it gives me the chance to see what the situation is and then determine if it is okay. Is that better?
Honestly, cannot hear Eddie.
Huh?
I can hear him.
He's really clear for me.
I have moved to speakerphone temporarily because I've got home and I'm in the process of slowly setting up.
No, it's cool. In fact, I might need to turn you down a little, but what
I may
do
end
you
up
have
going
on?
down again afterwards. I am shouting into my phone.
Okay.
So, yeah, okay. I'm
Maybe
going to go with
leave
that.
and rejoin, Teddy, because that usually works for me.
Yeah, I think would that be an okay instruction for me to give
to
the alarm?
Beast specifically, yes, you can do that. I will allow that.
Okay, then that's what I'll go with. And there may well be creatures that don't fall into that category. I'm going to say that it's going to be the mental alarm, so it's not going to be the audible alarm. It's going to be the one that just wakes me with a mental ping. So then I can determine if it's the right thing to do to get everyone to see what it is. So I'll wake up, see what the situation is. If it's okay, I'll go back to sleep.
Very well.
But yeah, I'll do that with 5 20-foot cubes. I need to almost have a little map so I can make sure I kind of spread them around. But basically, I'm going to spread them around us so that we have a perimeter.
Very well. So, Jason will offer to take the first watch. Who takes the watch after that? Jason will take the first. Amalia will take the second. There will need to be
I'll take the third.
Cool. And the
fine.
fourth. Okay. So, Jason's gonna make a perception check. Yes. Oh right. Sorry, I thought you were raising your hand.
No, sorry. I'm not into cool.
Sorry, reflex.
DM, sir. Sorry.
So, Alex, forgive me for doing this while you're not here. Jason will, just in the middle of, amongst his own thoughts, chilling by the fire, He's deep in contemplation. And he sees a pair of reflections in two pupils amongst the trees. As pad. The sound of padding. A enormous wolf, the size of a horse, comes into the clearing. Jason raises his spear. The wolf looks up at it. No word of malice. Jason's gonna make an insight check. Lowers his spear slightly. The wolf takes a few steps forward, laps up the remains of some discarded rations and dinner, and walks around and settles down beside Jason.
Do we get a pet dog? Wolf.
Jason allows himself to stroke its mane a few times, and he just relaxes there for a minute. And just goes back to his thoughts, not really paying it too much mind, just allowing it to just relax here for a minute. He gives it a small bit of his own ration, and the wolf happily laps it up. Before the end, as the Amalia begins to stir for her shift, the wolf will say his perk up for a second and will just very calmly get up and pad away. And will give Jason a final look and nod its head slightly, as for but a moment the light catches its pupils, the back of it, and it hits its retina, and the eyes flash green for just a moment before it walks off. Amalia's gonna roll a perception check. Oh no. Fortunately, nothing occurs over the course of Amalia's shift. That was a total of 6. So,
Yikes.
Oh boy.
Oh, it's my turn.
yes, Eslin.
8 plus 6, 14.
Okay. I feel like just the suspense is worse than anything I could actually do.
Literally.
Yeah,
Same
pretty
thing.
You sit there amongst your own thoughts, and you look up at the stars and you see they've got a faint, you notice for the first time, they've got a faint bluish tint to them. A little bit tonight. The stars look a little bit more blue. Like there's a sea of stars. And you feel a sense of serenity.
Until
You're sitting there. Is there anything you'd like to do while you're watching?
She'll just offer a prayer to Thassa for her family's safety and that she, is strong enough to face whatever it is that's going on down in Vishiros.
Make a wisdom check.
Oh, okay. That's a 17. A 17 plus 4, so 21.
You close your eyes for a minute and you offer your prayer. And you feel sort of a rushing sensation about your ears, and for a moment all sound fades away, as if you sound like you're underwater. And echoing out through this feeling of being underwater in your ears and in your mind is a soothing, reassuring voice. One you've heard once or twice before. Remember what she said. Remember what she said at the end. And then it fades away. And weirdly enough, when you open your eyes, you feel, when your ears pop and a little bit of water trickles out because you've got water in your ear?
Oh, yeah.
That happens on both sides. And you're like, how did this water get in my ear?
At least you're not throwing it up.
That's true. So at this point, you notice the giant fuck-off tarantula that's crawled up onto your thigh. That was the random encounter roll.
She just sort of like,
Make a dexterity check. Make an acrobatics check.
Okay, 8 plus. I think that's 2. I think that's really good. Acrobatics, yeah. Oh yeah, no, that's a 9 total.
Okay, you get it. You sort of fling it off yourself and it sort of lands about a foot away from you. It's kind of just raises up his legs like a fuck you.
If it comes near me next, it's sacred flame. Stay away from me.
Do you do that? It's not moving.
She's just sort of like, if it moves towards her, she's gonna sacred flame the fucking tarantula.
It's kind of just standing there at the moment in a sort of challenging pose.
Shoot, 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 shoot.
I love it.
After a minute, it crawls away. All right, Calliope, your turn.
Boy.
Guys have
What am
an
I
exchange
rolling?
of shifts. Make a perception check.
1925.
You are just sitting there for a moment, and just minding your own business, keeping an eye out alert, but you're very much paying attention, so your ears pricked up, hear a faint sound on the wind, and you recognize it, and it's singing. Over and under the trees we go, laughing highly, rolling down low. Breathe deeply, my children, now. Let the Vines in the trees overgrow you low. Ganassi, you get a beer in your head as, unbeknownst to no one, but, Calliope, you see stepping out through the light, by the light of the campfire, a woman. Only it's strange. Her skin is made out of bark, and sort of seems to roll with sort of patterns of wood across her entire skin and body and form. Her hair, rather than being hair, is leaves and vines, and it sort of trails all the way down her back. Her form, though made of wood, is otherwise nude in its entirety, and it seems to be sort of this flexible green living wood as she strides through the clearing.
Fuck, it's that woman from the statue.
Can I see
Can I make a
upwards?
perception check to see if she's...
Make a perception check, yes.
Can I see you sit bolt upright and turn to face the direction of where the alarm went off, and then in the direction of the figure approaching?
Am I checking perception or insight?
Perception.
Oh, good, because it was a natural 20 plus 6, 26.
It is does not bear,
I'm just gonna
actually,
send you a
you
picture.
notice that it does not bear too much resemblance to the statue.
I'm going to nudge Eslin awake quietly, wake her, shake her awake, and as she awakens, I've put my finger to her lips and my other finger to my lips.
Eslin, make an insight check.
Didn't know where that was going.
That's a natural 20. What a fucking waste.
Okay, you fortunately realize what he's alluding to here, and you suppress the bad touch reflex.
And you notice the Ganassi's gone to his very stern, eyes slightly glazed over expression, as in something's wrong. And then I'll move over and I'll shake Jason awake.
Oh, is Jason just like... no, he's outside
Amalia.
the tent,
He's
isn't he?
outside asleep.
I will leave the tent and I will make my way towards Jason. And when I get to him, I will I will start shaking him by the shoulders.
And he does a 13 hit.
Bollocks, I think it does because I haven't got thingy on. Hang on. Yeah, even if I add a arcane deflection, it would give my AC 13, so it would still hit. So yes, 13 hits.
All right. You don't take any damage, fortunately, because he was holding the spear wrong. I rolled for that too. He just sort of forgot his but he whacks you with the end of it like a pow, hits you in the nose.
There's like with ice with one hand slowly reach forward to my nose. We have company.
He, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. And he turns.
I guess I go
and the
towards
woman
direction.
seems to be that catches like she laughs this sort of slightly girly laugh. And you notice now that amongst sort of the wood that is her skin, you see sort of gnarled knots and little leaves and vines growing out of different sections. She seems to be a sort of a living embodiment of the trees.
How healthy does she look in terms of is she an embodiment of rotting and aging and withering vines, or is she an embodiment of healthy, corpulent trees?
You don't notice any rot or anything like that. Seems quite healthy.
My natural 20 on perception. Does she look threatening?
Mischievous. inquisitive.
Hello?
Hello.
Hi, how are you? It's a nice night for an evening, isn't it?
I agree. The stars are quite beautiful this night.
I must say, I've never seen one of your kind before. What exactly are you?
I'm a dryad.
A dryad? Not
Eslin,
just
make a history check.
Well, be good, please. No. It's an 8+2, I think, which, let me just check what my history modifier
Would
is.
I be able to do the same?
Yes, you could.
That's a whole 10 from me.
That is 16 from me.
So, Ganassi, you've heard a few names sort of ring your bell in terms of what you've read about Theros. You know, you did a bit of studying before making the journey over here, and you know that they have these sort of female figures which are embodiments of different elements. Nymphs. You know for a fact now that Calliope has both Calliope and Daxos share ancestry with such nymphs, and a few names sort of pop into your mind. Oreads being of the plains, Lampads being nymphs of death, and then Dryad, nymphs of the forest.
There's something almost reassuring about a living embodiment of perhaps not the standard elements of power that the Ganassi is aware of, but he can. He has an element of automatic respect for such creatures, so he will bow his head because we are.
And it tilts her head. You're a long way from home, aren't you? To you, Ganassi.
Searching for parts of my past that have got lost long ago in these lands.
Sometimes we have to lose ourselves before we can truly find ourselves. I have a feeling you will find what you're looking for.
Ganassi, are dryads like gods? What are they similar to ants? Exactly.
As them, like me and Fireboy.
Oh,
I think she's more
okay.
full-blooded.
The only nymphs you might have had come into contact with, Eslin, are naiads, the water equivalent. You might have seen one or two every now and then in your travels outside of the city of Vashiros. So you're familiar enough with what nymphs are. You may have heard of the other kinds, though you've never seen one like this in person.
I would ask, when is the last time you have seen one of my kind in these forests?
Never in these forests. The armies never traveled this far, fortunately, at least in this area. I remember, though, similar to you, but commanded the earth. He was at the head of such an army. Marched his 100,000, he did, into the mountains. Very few returned, including the one who was like you.
Such is the way of the earth. Very ironically unmoving in their nature.
I hear he still lies there somewhere.
Perhaps it is fitting that I pay my respects at some point in kind. Thank you.
If you were to find him, you may be very rich. though many have tried to claim his remains, they've never come up.
The true value I seek is knowledge, though knowledge does also befit the coin does have great sway over mortal beings.
It is true. The mortals of Theros have sometimes been in need of a reminder of what is truly important. A metal cannot truly bring happiness.
Ganassi's eyes glaze over, almost it's the same way when he's making like an agreement, and he nods solemnly in agreement.
She turns to you, Ganassi, again and says, "What you seek, what you ultimately seek, I sense is incredibly difficult. It will not be something you should not expect to accomplish it quickly. But there are those who have accomplished a similar goal before."
There's a slight flash of silver in his eyes, and now Ganassi is the one that cocks his head to one side. Do you remember any names?
Everyone knows the name of Xenagos. Not 5 years before your armies landed upon these shores, he was vanquished after he had ascended. He threatened to upset the balance and was destroyed by a great hero. The question you should ask yourself is, do you aim to be an upset to the balance like him? Or do you aim to add to the tapestry that is the sky?
I feel that answer can only be given honestly once my own past has been discovered. But I am open to being hopeful. I am able to adhere to the latter. So I am not naive. There is the risk that such power holds. All can, many do eventually succumb.
If you'll pardon my offering a small morsel of counsel.
Of course.
You'll pardon the expression, but do not miss the forest for the trees. Actually, funnily enough, it works in reverse in this instance. Do not miss the trees for the forest. You focus so much on your final goal, I fear sometimes you lose sight of what is right in front of you. All those who have ascended to the divine have had stepping stones along the way, which are ordinary people. Even Theros, the other to ascend to the divine, he was the first mortal. He showed humility. He remembered those in his life who had been blessings, and he knew that the mark of a true hero, of a true idol, is one who not just repair the world of danger, but repairs relationships between himself and others, and between the others and each other. Cultivate the relationships around you. Or at least do not forget to do that along the way of your other goals.
The flora of Hasiron is certainly not as rich and vibrant as Theros. a concession I will make. And those that do exist are often temperamental, difficult to maintain, forget to tend to the plants for more than a few days, and many can wither and die.
She gives you a wry look and says, "An opportunity, perhaps." And just get like the smallest of winks.
Yeah, Ganassi tilts his head a little bit to the other direction. Doesn't say anything, but he'll bow his head again.
And you, she turns to you, Calliope. Strides forward. Such sorrow I see in your eyes. She cups your chin in her hands. You have known such darkness, and you walk with such darkness. I often weep for those who are born of both worlds. Very seldom do they not know a life of strife and grief.
You never fit into any of those worlds.
Then don't fit. Be that thorn. And she sort of takes your hand in hers and sort of begins slowly dancing around you. And she sings a little song. My petals don't gleam, I'm no seed that sprouts, no leaves drinking sunlight, or pollen floating about. I hurt, I'm ugly, I'm dangerous too. What is my purpose? Well, I'll tell you. I'm a deterrent when deer come to bite. I am the bouncer when birds set alight. Those colors you're proud of, when you sway in the breeze, I make that happen. I keep you free. I am unpleasant. It's how I was born. But I have a purpose. I am a thorn. And you watch as her leaves bristle on their ends for a moment, and she gives you a look that you read as a sense of encouragement.
Okay.
One need not chase acceptance. Do not chase the opinions of others. Move them.
Keep that in mind. Sorry, I didn't catch your name.
Rosea.
And Rosea, are you by yourself in these woods? Are there others like you?
Like me, there are many. Some in this wood, others in other woods. Why do you ask, little one?
Sorry, I've never seen one of your kind. Well, a full-blooded nymph, apart from the mother, obviously, and especially a wood one.
We go where we are needed. We tend to the wilds.
You're a protector of the woods?
I am. It is why I approached you originally.
You know why we're here?
No more than a vague sense. I sense it's something. Perhaps it is not your primary goal, but you hope it will lead to other opportunities.
It is a stepping stone, in a way, yes.
Indeed.
I'm just asking because I don't want our group to do anything offend you or the balance in it.
I understand. I can sense that. And she sort of. Ah, yes. The daughters do good work in helping to preserve the balance by culling what upsets the balance and ensuring that those who work in their name or on their behalf honor the balance. All
You
need
may
to
then
know-
be able to guide us.
I do not know the mountainous terrains, unfortunately. Though I assume that's where you're headed.
I think so.
We believe our quarry is that way, yes.
I cannot leave this forest abode. And more than the advice and guidelines you've undoubtedly already received from their den mother, I cannot give more than that. But I have faith you will chance upon your quarry, whatever it may be. What is your name, child? She looks at you, Calliope.
Calliope. It's
I take it you
sweet.
haven't seen any others like us in a very long time.
Well, there is one, but he's a character. But no, I haven't seen a
yes.
full-blooded one.
We are aware of the foundling. Do not judge him too harshly. He was thrust as into an uncaring world as a solution to the problems of the masses, without any say in and of it of his own.
I know he's had a rough childhood. Hey, who hasn't?
Of course. An explanation, if not an excuse.
Okay, I'll try and be nice.
He never did.
Are you... Sorry.
You knew your mother. He did not.
A point. I don't mind.
She slips for a moment in her ethereal persona and says, I have met her. God, she's a character as well. I don't look so
Is that
surprised.
my mother?
Not yours, I'm sorry. His. Lampads are more elusive, I'm sorry. They walk the underworld and the world between worlds. Rarely do they grace the mortal planes. And she sort of cups your head again with her hands. That you exist, child, is nothing short of a miracle.
All the town folk, bit of an abomination. Anyway, how did you get to meet his mother?
Nymphs do talk from time to time, you know?
Even the different kinds.
On very rare occasion, yes. I was tasked with overseeing, by the mother of the forests, tending to a neglected part of the forests that crest the Catachan Mountains. I admit I was curious. The entire reason that the foundling was blessed so was that, from what I know, the Smith God values ingenuity above all else. When she presented the child to him, this one who supposedly possessed the gifts of man and nymph, he was amazed by the ingenuity and blessed the child as being not only a gift from the Smith God unto the world, and that's all anyone has ever seen him as. You're both the first of your kind, do you know that? The first generation, at least, she says, giving you a knowing look.
Didn't know that. But we'll just go in.
But yes, I sought out the mother of the foundling because I was curious. I admit, honestly, I was a little bit disappointed.
Sorry, DM, what was the last sentence? I didn't catch that. Sorry.
I admit I was a little bit disappointed.
In me?
No. In the mother of the foundling.
Oh. I mean, she's not getting any parent awards.
Certainly not.
How...
Oreads are, much like their element, impulsive and vivacious, very quickly flighting from one fancy to the next and reveling in natural destructions. When Velos erupts, you can often see them dancing along the flames as the molten rock careens towards villages. They are chaotic by their nature, and I thought this one might be different, but it's about the same as any other Oread in temperament, which was surprising given her ingenuity. Ganassi, did I cut you off when you wanted to say something?
Yes, but actually this is more interesting than what he had to say, so it's fine.
At this point, Rosea has also sort of sat down and it seems to be sort of like cross-legged and is sort of just enjoying the company of you all, unless you guys are still standing up. She'll stand up every now and then, but she's allowed you, like, this isn't... She's not giving off a tense vibe, so you would have the freedom to relax in terms of not being standing up.
I've probably sat back down then, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, same.
Is it possible for me to update the spell that I have on my alarms to not trigger once it's been cast?
I'll allow it.
Okay, I'm gonna add her to the okay list.
Oh yeah, because you've had in your ear the whole time. Beer, beer, beer.
Little bit, but certain places like when she moved closer, it was okay. But as she walks, occasionally, suddenly, I'm like,
Ganassi, do you want to sit down? What?
Let me hit stews.
Yeah. But yeah, so she finishes explaining this all. But yes, you. Oh, wait, I think I cut you off as well, Calliope. What were you gonna say?
What's it? Oh, have you met any other children? Is that what you call this? The dark gnomes? Apart from me and Dexter.
A few, yes. There was one. 1 second. Pulling up my notes. There was one. Bias. Passed away now, peacefully. An age ago, he was a child of one like myself, an immortal man, a powerful champion of Karametra. He was known for many great deeds. And there are the others dotted out here and there. I don't know all of them off by heart, but I'm aware of one other who lives in Akros.
Do you have any way of tracking them or keeping an eye on them? I'm sorry,
If I did,
we have the wrong idea.
I could theoretically seek them out. If I wanted to, or could. But that isn't the case, I am sorry. If you're referring to whom I think you're referring, unfortunately I have no idea where she is.
Ivy's just gonna excuse herself and just not wander far away from the group, but just she needs a minute.
Before you go,
Everyone's gonna follow you.
Before you go, she takes your hand and cups them and says, "The road ahead of you is a long one, child, but I know you have the strength in you to see it through to the end. And you'll shine brighter than any star. I feel it." And as she takes her hand back, you feel a weight in your hands, and you look down, a perfectly ripe pomegranate sits in your hands.
Thank you. You believe in me. I should probably start doing that myself.
Belief in oneself is incredibly important. But others believing in you goes a long way. You have people who believe in you. Let them in.
I'll try.
And if you wish to explore the side of yourself that walks in the world beyond, you will need a teacher.
That be you? Or do I need to seek out another?
Seek out one who has experience cultivating their nymph side.
Get it? I understand.
She turns to you, Eslin. I wish I could offer more counsel, my child. Our worlds are so far apart. But I see the ferocity matched with the tenderness of a mother. I know that feeling. In a way, every tree is my child, and I love it as if it were my own.
Yes. Sometimes very difficult to keep the balance between being fierce and wanting to keep a cool head. I'd do anything for my child. The fear of what's coming and the unknown, that's... I am not prepared, and I am not powerful. And that's okay, because I will be.
No one expects the caterpillar to fly just as soon as he hatches. You will find the power you seek, and you will help, and it will protect the ones you love. Your path is the cloudiest, but I can see the divine touch upon you in a way I see in few others. Your blood truly is salt and brine.
I appreciate your counsel. I know there is. If there's anything you can do for the rest of it, I would appreciate that.
What was like? If there's anything you can do for
Everyone else here.
perhaps a small morsel as a token of endorsement of your journey. She sort of folds her hands among themselves, and as she folds them back out again, she spills into your lap, Eslin, 10 red round berries. It's only... they should ideally be consumed within 24 hours, or the magic will not have any effect.
What does it do?
They help close wounds.
Thank you.
And yeah, you have 10 good berries.
Good berries are awesome.
Hey! Nice. And they'll die in 24 hours. Okay.
Yep. It's a level 1 spell, Calliope. But Rosea, turns to the rest of you and says, I will let you return to your rest. You have much to do tomorrow.
Thank you once again for your counsel.
Of
You may
course.
consider yourself welcome at our campfire anytime.
She gives you a nod of appreciation, and then in one leap and bound, she goes into a full cartwheel, and then flips, and then bounds off and just prances and dances away, and in an instant she disappears amongst the trees. With the grace of a mantis, pretty much, she just bounds off. And all the while she's singing to her,
I mean, that night visit was better than the goat, but
What a sentence! And that's where we're going to take a small break, because I am very hungry. And I'm just going to set Twitch Studio on be right back, and we'll reconvene in about 10 minutes, or perhaps a teensy bit sooner, but we'll say to about 10 minutes so I can eat something.
Sounds good.
Hey, be right back. Thank you to our viewers.
Okay, I'll be right back.
And we're back. So, as we left for the break, the party Tempest had a unexpected visitor during the night, one who seemed fairly knowledgeable on a wide variety of subjects and was able to shed some light on different questions that the group had. But you guys, unless have anything else you wish to do this evening, I'll say you return to bed. Complete your
Do we? How do you look after the? Have we got someone who's looking after the berries?
they're my berries.
Got the berries. Okay, cool. That's
I
10
put the
hit points.
pomegranate in my
That's 10
bag.
hit points. That is.
I know it's a point. I will give you one berry, Ganassi.
Oh, see, I'm tempted to eat it now because they're
You're not
very, very
in.
nice. Yeah, but they're
Is
very
the
tasty.
pomegranate magical?
It's a lovely berry. I will place the berry carefully into its own little pouch.
Don't sit on it.
Could you imagine?
Well, I can imagine that could be a beneficial way to heal certain injuries.
Period pain. Or a water infection.
Please don't.
I'm gonna go and go back to. I'm gonna
Please
go back
don't
to sleep.
please don't insert good berries into your cooch. I'm not RPing that.
No, because I just imagined sort of like cranberries, so I was like,
I'm all about burning.
Which cranberries? Which you can place? That okay.
I'm all about female empowerment and burning away the stigma around talking about the menstrual cycle and all that. But if we're gonna go into that territory, that's a bridge too far even for me.
no, you just eat them. Okay, cool. We're going to bed now, guys.
Oh yeah, no. Jason says all the. No, I'm kidding. All right, you guys come to. The day is yours. What do you wish to do?
I guess we continue forward and start looking for, well, decimation of the forest and like burrows
Decimation?
in the. Well, yeah, didn't they say like it creates so much destruction in its wake, and that it smells like burning, and also it burrows really deep.
Oh yeah. You guys are still a ways off from the mountain.
Oh,
Let me
Then-
pull up the.
breakfast and mountain, I guess.
Let's pull up the maps.
I shall open up the map then, because I haven't actually got onto Roll20 yet. There it is.
Yeah, you guys are about in the Ferez area of. You're sort of getting towards the base of the mountains. It would probably take you the morning to get to the base of the mountains.
Okay, can do. I guess en route we can just last night.
Cool. Go for it. You guys resume your march. Talk away.
Oh, so that was very strange. I think it was a bit, late in the evening. I was to really discuss what happened, but is everyone okay?
Perfectly. They were an embodiment of the forest. They were respectful. They meant, as far as I could see, no harm. They offered good guidance and wisdom for most of our number.
Good. Calliope, are you okay? If you want to talk,
Information.
I'm here. If you want
Yes,
to talk, I'm here. Either of you, all of you.
I must find out more about the... There was one name that I did not recognize before, a Theros. I am intrigued to find out more about this person.
Oh my.
Right.
Maybe we'll encounter something or someone.
Well, you guys both know
That was
Athreos.
another
He's
person.
the ferryman of the dead.
Oh.
He's
Okay.
actually one of the prime deities. He's known to be the only mortal to ascend to godhood. And stay that way. He is in charge of ferrying the dead across the Tartix River once they've paid their toll. The 2 coins that go over people's eyes as part of a funerary rite is his toll for crossing.
Isn't that who Amalia follows?
Amalia follows Erebos, which is the lord of the underworld. Basic difference similar between Charon, the ferryman of the dead, and Hades, the actual lord of the underworld.
Yeah.
Calliope, make a history check.
History.
Can I give guidance?
Sure.
Oh, what's guidance? Just a D4.
Yeah.
Okay, there's a D4. Oh, 3. So 21 plus 3, 24.
Alright. Legend has it that Athreos was the first mortal to cross the threshold and enter the underworld. First mortal to die. The gods, realizing what an endless onslaught of other mortal souls would come into the underworld after him, elevated him to godhood and charged him with being the steward of these deceased souls.
Okay. Interesting.
Does Calliope tell us this, like, as
you?
a story as we go?
Yeah.
Does that mean that every god must have a purpose?
If
Maybe
they do
there's-
not have a purpose, then what is their point of
One of
existence?
them.
Well, my point is that there seems to be multiple gods for, well,
If you mean to
everything.
say they seem to be many gods, though, whose purpose seems non-existent, I would agree strongly.
Oh, that's not what I mean.
Well,
I mean,
I would
there-
still stand by that stance.
I mean that there are multiple gods, and some have very good intentions. Some have diverse. I'm just wondering, as the world changes and stuff becomes more peaceful, Or hopefully so. Maybe there's room
Without
to temper it.
without suggesting it much either way, and understanding that what I say probably goes without saying, but you are looking at the purpose of the gods with mortal eyes.
True. I was just thinking maybe if ascending to godhood intends that you will need a purpose, a good one. And maybe you don't need to make for that purpose. Maybe a new purpose will come as, people develop. But of course, I don't think you'll be a god then, Arcee. Stranger person, like... Let's just go find a sport, okay?
I can say with a degree of confidence that though I may not say quite what it is yet, in my mind there has never been anything more clear with regards to what I would represent, or what facet of mortal kind I would wish to embody. But I will say no more on that for now.
Alright then, keep your seat.
Okay. I'll say by this point, after having stopped for lunch as well, you guys are at the base of the mountains.
Can I make a perception check just so I can see what's around us, like the best path?
Make a perception check. What are you looking for specifically?
I'm just keeping an eye on if there's any animals, but mainly I'm just trying to seek out the best path.
Okay.
For us to
Make a
take.
perception check.
Okay, that is... Ooh, not good. 4 plus 6, 10. Sorry.
You can't quite make out an ideal path. You're too preoccupied with seeing this little shadow up top.
Shadow?
Yeah, like a bird silhouette.
Recognize the shadow? Oh, okay.
Can I have a look around for tracks or signs of the burrow and stuff like that, or are we too far away? Oh,
Make a survival check.
be good. Ooh, okay. That is a nice 17 plus survival, yeah?
Yeah.
I think that's a +2. Oh no, +4. +4 to survival. Fuck yeah. 21.
You find no signs of a boar, but you do spot a good path, sort of goat's path, by which you could sort of travel up onto the cliff sides and sort of make your way up into the mountains.
Does it look like we can just walk up it, or is it like...
It's a bit tricky, but yes, you can walk it.
Okay.
It's one of those really precarious goat's path that just goes along the side.
I will sort of like use the climbing equipment as well, just in case.
Absolutely. All right. You guys begin climbing. How long would you like to climb for?
Oh, so we get to the... Is it like a top? Is there like...
Oh yeah, there's a top, eventually.
Is it like a mountain? Is it like Everest?
Mountain.
Or is it like...
No, it's not
Okay.
Everest, but Mount Blanc.
Okay.
They're like stopping, like where we can stop comfortably. Or is it just a straight climb?
You don't see any places to stop yet. There might be. You're at the very base of the mountain.
Okay. Well, I've got 2 lots of rope because I had one on me and I bought a second one. So I think that's 100 feet of rowboat? Of rope? I've forgotten how to English. Yeah, 50 feet times 2. So 100 feet. I don't know how tall 100 feet is in meters, but I guess we could go that tall off the ground comfortably.
Very well.
If you were to climb to the top and then affix your rope could be used for others to climb.
Or you could just disc me, and then I can tie the rope and everyone can climb up. Oh, you could climb up. And we'll sit on this nice little disc.
The disc will not travel up a sheer, something so sheer.
Okay.
Actually, I'm going to confirm that. I'm assuming it would.
Well, I'm not that good at climbing, but I think Amalia's good at climbing, right?
It can move across uneven terrain, up or down stairs, slopes and the like, but it can't cross an elevation change of 10 feet or more. I think the mountain might be a step too far.
We can try 100 feet and we'll see what we can see and if there's any sign of the boar. And then find a place to rest, and if everything goes, badly, we can reconvene, I guess.
Sure.
It may be beneficial for me to watch those that travel first, as I can assist if one were to fall.
If Amalia goes first, I'll follow up behind her.
Both bad.
Amalia will calmly equip the rope and sort of just begin ascending naturally.
I will stay at the base with Jason to start off with, because I want to keep an eye on them, but also I know that the levitate that I can cast on Jason will only last for a short period of time, and then it will stop. So I don't want to waste it if he were going to get up and then he just goes, yeah. It lasts for 10 minutes.
I'll climb up after Amalia.
Do you need us to roll anything?
Make athletics checks, yes. With advantage because Amalia is assisting you both.
Okay. Ooh. Oh, the first one was a 19 plus acrobatics.
Wait, acrobatics or athletics?
Modified 20.
Athletics.
20. 19 plus 3? 22.
17.
21? 22.
Alright. Deftly and swiftly, with Amalia's aid, you're able to climb the 100 feet, and you sort of can look around you. You see the beginnings of the forest where you guys camped the previous evening. You can see, bits of snow every now and there that maybe have sloshed down from further up into the mountains. Different rocky outcrops. You're in quite a rocky section of the mountains. What are you looking for?
Looking for tracks and sort of signs of that burrowing that the hunters mentioned.
Make a survival check.
Can I give myself guidance?
No.
Can I
I don't need it. That's fine.
Okay.
That is a 16 plus 4, so modified 20.
Okay. No boar tracks yet, unfortunately, but you do see a valley, sort of like a section where there's like path that goes sort of along the mountain, or you could probably stand up and walk calmly. Like there's a section where it sort of just breaks off into sort of cliffside, quite large too.
Is it above us or is it like
just above you?
Okay. How high above us?
20 feet.
Okay. Is Ganassi still down at the bottom?
I'm still at the ground, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll sort of shout down. Within 100 feet. Is that loud enough?
Make a strength check.
A strength check.
It's the strength of your lungs. It's a straight strength check.
17 plus.
Yeah, it's fine. You can hear you.
Ganassi!
You see me like gesture wildly without making noise because I'm not going to shout.
I could have used thaumaturgy if I needed to. Probably cause an avalanche or whatever. Ganassi! Start climbing. We need the rope.
Okay.
Good gesture.
I will rub my hands together and I will place a hand on Jason's sort of like shoulder for a moment, and it was like some of like the air that normally moves around my hair kind of just coalesces and kind of moves like sort of like you sort of see like the sort of like the wisp, or you don't really see it, but you can kind of see like the movement on like the hairs on my hand and then through my clothes to my other arm, and then his mane starts to bristle a little bit as I cast levitate upon Jason.
This is a most unusual feeling.
Bless you.
Love it.
But
It will last for 10 minutes.
I best move quickly then, and he will sort of just scramble up, he'll tug on the rope and pull himself up.
Do we just have like a horse, but like a balloon horse?
Yes, you do. You have a balloon horse. In fact, as Jason gets to the top, he sort of like slips slightly. He's holding onto the rope, but he can't find precipice anymore. So he is sort of like floating just slightly away and holding onto the rope. Could you give me a small tug? Thank you very much.
So I guess we'll climb the next 20 feet up.
I will also begin to climb as well.
Well, you guys find yourselves on a rocky cliff face. No, sorry. You guys find yourself on like solid ground. You got like a good few feet of area where you can just walk. It's like a really big goat's path that just goes up, so you guys can comfortably stand on that. And it sort of just whips around the cliffs and mountains as you go along.
You said there was like a valley, like a.
Sorry, valley was the wrong word. Like so you know that section of like, you ever seen those roads that stick out just out of the mountain?
Yeah.
There's like a big one of those.
Okay.
And it does sort of go round the mountain into between the mountains, from what you can see.
Okay. I guess we'll follow the mountain for now.
All right, you guys trek along this path that seems to, if you continue to follow it for a while, you'll sort of go around the mountain in between the two mountains. That takes the better part of an hour. If you choose to continue on this path, you will find yourself weaving in between one or two mountains. Does someone want to make a perception check?
Yes.
Do I need to make a roll as well, by the way?
Yes, please.
Natural 20 plus 6.
Well, I've rolled a natural 1 on my athletics.
Oh no!
On your athletics?
Yep.
Oh, because he's
What, for
climbing.
climbing?
I need to climb, yeah.
Okay.
Do I see Ganassi with my natural 20?
But did you roll with advantage? Because we had advantage.
Do we?
Yeah, because Amali was helping us.
You had the rope.
Would that help me?
Yeah. Well, I assume you will use the rope, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, fine. I mean, very well. I have featherfall if need be anyway. But okay, I
Amalia
shall roll
was
with
pretty much doing all the work, pulling you up.
Fantastic. And my second roll is a
MVP.
19, so actually I get a 21. So huzzah for advantage.
Amalia at this point like pulls you up, and she's like just holding you in her arms, and she's like, it's like holding a pair of grapes.
And I was just like, I just Ganassi would just be too proud to use the rope. I will ascend this. Like
Well, I
will
would.
ascend
I was going
together.
to until someone pointed out we needed to get away to get Jason up. So I was like, okay, fine. Otherwise, yes, I was going to just, with my hands outstretched, just slowly rise over the mountain. But no luck this time because I can only cast it once.
Just be glad that you didn't.
Could you imagine?
I can. This is the worrying thing. Anyway, yes, I ascend successfully.
Very well. You guys all set out on this path. So natural 20 on the perception check, right, Calliope? You see something glint. You come around this bend and you guys see what looks like a mudslide, like a rock slide that's sort of obstructing your path somewhat. You gather with your perception check. You could probably scale this, but you see something glint amongst the rocks.
Hmm. Is it like a creature?
It looks metallic. Which is as much as you can garner at this distance, even with the natural 20, unfortunately.
Okay. How far away is it? Is it still within the walking path, or is it somewhere?
So basically, your path is obstructed by this rock slide, and it's sort of like, I'll say 150 feet in front of you. You only saw it because it was a natural 20.
Okay. I slowly make my way through it.
Yep.
While being very careful with the rock slide.
Very well. You slowly approach it, and every now and then, when the sun when the trees sway and the sun peeks through, it shines in your eye again. It looks slightly bronzish.
Bronze what, sorry?
The glint looks bronze.
Okay. I cast Mage Hand to try and pick it up.
Absolutely. You
What it is.
feel stuck.
Like in the ground, like buried in the ground.
It seems to be covered by the rocks.
Okay, I'm gonna use Mage Hand just to dig around the rocks, just get them out of the way.
These are like this big rocks, kind of thing.
Oh.
A lot of them. So Mage Hand is not strong enough, unfortunately.
Can I do that myself?
Yes, you can. Make a athletics check.
Do we see
zero,
what she's
great.
doing?
Yeah.
19?
Would you like a hand, Calliope?
Yes, please!
All right. Between all of you, you manage to pull apart the rocks, and you start to see scraps of cloth as well, and the glint of bronze you saw belonged to sort of like this. You gather it used to be a robe that had this sort of ceremonial bronze metallic thing that went around the neck. It is currently encirculating what looks to be a completely crushed skeleton. And the bones are pretty bleached as well. You gather this has been here for a while. Like, there's no mistaking it's been here for a bit.
Do we recognize the armor? Is it like you say ceremonial? Is it religious? Like, does it have any religious symbol?
Make a Arcana check.
Oh, let's see if my modifier can save it. Modifier cannot save it. That is a 10.
don't recognize it. It doesn't look religious, though. That much you can gather.
Okay.
There's no religious symbols that you recognize on it.
Does it kind of resemble the Daughters of Nelia?
No, it's more like the scraps you can find are more of a fine silk.
Ooh, is it Hessian? Serum.
Siren. Ganassi, peering over it, don't visibly recognize anything Hessian about it. It is hard to tell.
Can you
I kind of
identify
look at it for a minute, and then I just like kind of shake my head.
Ganassi, can you identify this?
As in, you wish me to determine if it's got magic within it?
I mean, probably not considering the state of the body, but
I don't
maybe we
recognise
should
it.
take it with us.
Can we salvage it, or does it look like it's gonna like pull apart if we try and take it?
Make it just a straight intelligence check.
No, if not, scrap metal.
Yeah, 17.
A few pieces are wedged in, like into the rock, and you gather those might be a bit tricky to pull, but this thing is like the biggest piece of the skeleton is this big. You can probably take most of it because it's just lying there in like little collections.
Okay.
Yeah, it's just mainly just tattered, what used to be this tattered silk robe, just straps and things like that. Very worn sandals.
Can we tell how old it is exactly, or is it just like...
Make a survival check.
Ooh, okay. A 15, and I think that's a +6, but let me just check. Oh no, that's +4, 19 total.
At least 6 months. The bones are picked clean.
So it's not old, not necessarily old, so like...
It doesn't look ancient.
Is it like ancient?
It doesn't look ancient, no, but it's very much long dead.
What age does this look humanoid? I'm assuming.
It does, yes.
Can we ascertain, based on this, basically the bones that are there, the rough size? Basically, was this an adult? Was this a child?
It's about your height in Zaganasi, from what you can tell. Like you managed to roughly assemble the femur. It's about as long as your femur would be.
So it's a child.
Emotionally, may well be. Does there appear to be any notable sign of injury or broken bone that looks like it's...
A rock landed on him. He's crushed.
it is the rocket that's done it. Okay, that's fine.
His bones are fragments.
Okay, that's fine.
Dwayne
I was
Johnson
trying to work
just
out whether or not,
him.
yeah, whether or not it was that or that it had died steps, but that seems to be what I've done. Okay, cool, that's fine. No worries then.
I'll take what's left of the armor.
All right.
And if we can't use it, scrap metal.
So yeah, you pull apart the bronze and the silk, and this leather tube falls out.
Ooh. Can I open the tube? Is it trapped? Can I check for traps?
You said you opened the tube first.
I still have mage hands. I still have mage hands.
Shoot, too late. Eslin, too eager, pops the tube open, and nothing happens. It's fine. It's not trapped.
Is there a map in it? What's in there?
There does seem to be parchment inside it.
Okay. If I take it out, will it like fall apart? Is it really delicate or is it cool?
Do you try to?
Yeah.
It doesn't appear to fall apart at all, no. You see two separate sheets of paper that have a variety of glyphs on them. You don't recognize them, Eslin.
Any of us recognize the language or the...
Yeah, I'll show it round to people.
Give me a moment.
Yeah, Ganassi immediately. The characters are a little tricky for you because they're not native to your home country, but these are clearly magical glyphs. These are spell scrolls.
I will go quiet for a bit, and I will cast. Actually, in terms of it's gonna have to be identify. If I recognize it's magical, okay, these is a magical spell scroll. Rather than comprehend language, the right spell for casting this circumstance is
It's
identify.
more like a maths equation than a literal language, if that makes sense.
Right.
In terms
You're having a beautiful mind moment.
Yeah.
You can make an Arcana check if you like.
Let's give it a go. If it doesn't, then I can always find out what one it is later on. But yeah, Arcana check it is. Ooh, that is 21 total.
Okay, 1 second. Sorry, whilst I oh god, how do I get out of? Oh no.
Oh yeah.
Clicking too many things.
It's going to be in before Scroll of Rock Skin. I didn't need it in the end.
So how much did you
We
roll,
misread
sorry?
it. 21.
Oh shit, hang on, I need to edit layout. Fuck's sake. This always happens. So with a 21, so 1, so your Theron is a bit rusty. It was in like you're still learning Theron, so it's a ongoing process, but you do recognize one word on one of the scrolls, because it's a word that's popped up in some history books as well, which just says catapult.
Okay.
The other one, you recognize the glyph for air a few times, and something about a circular motion.
Okay. Catapult. I recognise that as a type of spell, and air and circular motion could be anything from Tensor's floating disc to warding wind to feral things, actually, or even levitate. So I will. So you said that if I was to cast comprehend language, it wouldn't be suitable in this circumstance. No.
No.
Okay. And nor would identify.
Identify would.
Okay, that's fine. In which case, that's what I'll do because I can richly cast both of them.
Easy enough.
I will sit down.
Yeah, cool. So after doing your little thing, sham la lam la la, you recognize it as a scroll of catapult and a scroll of dust devil.
Okay then.
All
right then. These will be very useful. Either once use, or with some time and preparation, I can learn these. They are scrolls of spell scrolls. I would suggest that I be the best person to keep hold of these for now. Good find, Meslin. Very good find.
It was Calliope that found it. I just desecrated a body.
I just saw something shiny.
Whatever this was, it was a very shiny find.
Okay then, shall we march on?
All right.
I'll give Ganassi the scrolls and the little container that. Yeah.
You guys march on, and
Yep.
So make a survival. Somebody make a survival check.
I'm okay at those. If anybody else,
Oh, that's a +3. That's it.
I'm a +4. Anybody better than me? This is metagaming.
Ganassi's better, but I mean that if we I mean in terms of the role. Yeah.
I'm +3, so go ahead.
Okay. That's a 16 plus 4.
Modified 20. Nice, yeah. You, after a while, you see sections of trees dotting out the landscape, and you're like, you see sections of the bark has just been ripped up.
Big! Any obvious sign of which direction the trees and stuff were? Or like...
So you guys have gotten sort of, you've chosen a path that sort of loops around the mountain, and you've gotten quite high at this point. You're about 500 feet off the ground.
Okay,
it sort of just keeps going along the path.
I don't want the pig to like knock us off. So I didn't say it, but did I take my spikes and stuff and my rope?
I would have assumed.
Cool, just checking. I didn't know if it would just be like left there, like hey. So I'm gonna like along the path that we're going, like hammer in a couple of the little spikes and suggest that we move up, and then when we go past a spike, like pass it along the chain, so that the person in front sort of like keeps us all grounded. I've got 100 feet of rope. How much does everybody else have?
I just realised levitate will have expired. Because it's 10 minutes and I just did a ritual casting.
He's not gonna like fall. We're on like steady-ish ground.
You guys have been walking for hours. This is a heads.
Okay, that's fine. Okay, cool. That's alright then. I do not have rope.
Yeah, beautiful rocky landscape, by the way. Very nice scenery.
Calliope, do you have any rope?
What? I think I might do. Nope.
Okay.
I don't have any rope.
So I've got 100 feet. Can I only have a mace. Do I have like a little dagger or something? Does anyone have a dagger?
Yeah.
Cool. So 100 feet wrapped around one person, tied to a wall.
Hey, I have 3 war picks. Can we use them to like,
I'm
climb up.
I'm more worried about having the rope to make sure that if the pig just suddenly busts out this wall, we don't go flying over the edge and to death. I know that Ganassi does have a spell that could help us if we should fall, but if it's Ganassi that falls, we stuck. We dead. So 100 feet divided by how many of us are there? 1, 3, 5. 20, 25. No, that's not math. That would be 4. 10-ish feet. What is wrong with my math today? 100 divided by 5. Yeah, 20 feet. 20 feet of rope each. And I'm gonna give you a pick. I'm gonna give you a piston thing. And I'm gonna give you a rope. That 10 feet of rope. Hold on to it. I'm gonna tie mine around me actually. And sort of move forward. Like hanging it in the wall.
Alright. You do all this, and then proceed forward?
Yeah.
Okay. You walk along.
It takes time, but I assume it's helpful.
You walk along and you see digs in the ground as you move along, sort of like where the earth has been sort of recently upturned. Maybe something was foraging for mushrooms or something like that. About 30 more minutes of walking you. Yeah, you know it. You said, oh, that's what she meant by I'd know it when I'd smell it. There's this weird kind of burning smell.
Can we see it?
Make a perception check.
Can Amalia make one? Because she has a keen sense of smell, right?
Yeah.
She follow it.
Yep. And the dice got sent to oblivion. 1 second.
12 plus 6 for me, so 18.
Cool. And plus Amalia's 23. Just between the two of you. Yeah. You can't see it, but you guys follow the smell?
vicinity.
Can we be quiet about it?
Make stealth checks.
All of us?
Disadvantage. Yes, everybody make a stealth check, Eslin. With disadvantage.
That was a 6 from me.
Jason and Amalia
That was
too.
a
Both
10.
Jason and Amalia are both also with disadvantage.
Let's see.
I rolled a 13, so this.
So that is a oh, I need to pull up Jason's stat block collections, my campaigns. Mythic Odysseys, Theros.
My other stealth roll was really fucking good. It was like a 19, and I was like, yeah, and then I remembered with disadvantage, and I was like, yeah.
So that's a 9 from Jason.
Mhm.
As we're going, it's
And
probably
a
going to be so.
natural 1 from Amalia.
We're making so much noise.
No!
Sod it. I'm not even fussed anymore. I'm going to cast Mage Armor while we're going. Because, you know, if it's probably going to hear us anyway.
So it's like clack-clang, 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 clack-clang.
Yeah, to be fair, we are like hammering pegs in the wall as we're going. Like,
Yeah.
So you
I'm just gonna have a look at this house.
you round a bend, and all of a sudden you see it. As large as a smallish elephant. Burning blue eyes that are crackling with electricity, tusks that are crackling with electricity, black fur.
Is it looking at us?
It is looking straight at you guys. It heard you guys a mile away.
Fantastic.
And that's where we'll end tonight's session.
Oh no!
Well, I'll tell you
Always
what.
got to end on a re.
Oh yeah. Thank you. That's better than I didn't want to wake people up.
I mean, no, that sounded a bit more like a pig. Oh, but it is a boar.
It is a
so
pig.
yeah.
I've never met a boar in my life. I've met boring people, but I've never met a boar pig.
I've met a boar.
Are they scary?
No, they're quite. So I met baby ones as well. They're quite sweet.
You missed the we finished for the day session after a pig ran at us.
So thank you to all. Actually, I'll show this to you guys, to the viewers as well, just in case there are any out there. But I will show you guys the map that we will begin with at the start of next week.
Very exciting. Is everyone back next week?
I think Amalia's still down for the count.
Aww.
I'm gonna be stood right in front of that fucking thing, aren't I?
Yeah, that reminds me. I need to put you guys in position.
Wait, are we actually like ending on this cliffhanger?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I'm hanging.
On the edge? You mean on the edge? Literally on the edge of a cliff.
So you guys, if you were going to hammer yourselves close enough to the wall, would be about here.
Yeah.
We'll say Amalia was leading, followed by Eslan, followed by Calliope, followed by Ganassi, followed by Jason, bringing up the rear. And, yeah. There is the boar. Yeah, let me make sure the...
That's why, guys, I'm
Right, it's fine, guys. This is an easy insta-game. We just need to knock it off the edge. Done.
To be fair, me and you both have gust. It's something we could do.
Literally just be consistent, like, we just don't even touch it. Gust, 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 gust.
To any of you D&D fans
I
who may be
imagine he's
watching...
quite constitutional.
Any D&D fans who may be watching might recognize this from the Storm King's Thunder adventure. But we will pick that up next time.
Nice.
Oh man, they're not going to be able to... Where is the... like the...
Do you need us to stream it so they can see it?
No, it's... Oh, it's okay. They'll have to see... You have to see it at the start of next week, guys. I do apologize. But, so the window that shows the... Oh, no. Why did I hide that map? Wait, no. I'm gonna have to fix this all next week. God, I hate Twitch Studio. So, deeply apologize to everybody. You can view the map at the start of next week. But that will conclude tonight's session. Thank you to anyone who may have watched, and we love you all. Bye-bye.
Bye.
No,